don't read it like it's some textbook that your professor wrote and is now making you purchase. Hello, men. I'm Matthew Holliman, and I want to help you build your faith, finances, and family on God's foundations. Today, we're going to be focusing on building our faith by getting to know God, the author of the Bible, just a little bit better. I'm going to be presenting two characteristics of God today that are often missed, but just by knowing them, it'll bring you closer to God and, again, build your faith. I would also encourage you to write these two things down in the comment section below to let me know, one, that you picked them up, but two, when we write things down, we tend to remember them better, and you can utilize them with the rest of your life. Also, be sure to hit the like button below if you appreciate this content. Many people know that God is all-powerful. He's omnipotent. He can do whatever he wants. They know that he's omnipresent, which means he is everywhere all at once, and he's not bound by time and space. But one of the characteristics of God we're going to talk about today is in the first page of the Bible, and we still walk past it. Let's look at this. God is creative. And unlike God, when someone like me is creative, we take something and turn it into something else. We take wood and turn it into a chair, a piece of furniture, a house. A painter is said to be creative, and they take multiple colors of paint and a canvas and create a beautiful sunset. But God created the idea of color in the first place. And he didn't take any class to teach him how. Around me, there are many Amish people, and they are known for taking nice wood and turning it into unbelievably high quality and beautiful pieces of furniture. I know that because my wife would definitely like some of it. On the other hand, God created tens of thousands of species of trees. He created an ecosystem to feed and nourish those trees. He created light to illuminate the tree to show the different colors. He then created our eyes, the most complex lens that has ever existed, so that we can see the tree. And then he created our brains, which take all that information and build an image in our eyes that we can see. And none of that existed prior to God creating it. Now, why does this matter? Why does worshiping a creative God build my faith? And should it build your faith? Well, of course it should, because no matter what problems you or I ever face, God is creative and can answer any problem. In fact, he can even create a new problem so that he can come up with a new solution. And did you know that a honeybee will travel up to 3 miles, collect half its weight in pollen, and then fly the 3 miles back just to feed the like button? Okay, on to the second characteristic. And I don't want to waste your time, but I do want you to pay close attention to this one. Most people think that this characteristic is a negative thing. They view it negatively. But when you understand it, it'll make sense and will build your faith, I promise. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, we read that God claims to be a jealous God. And then in the book of Matthew, the best book of the Bible, we see where Jesus tells the Pharisees to give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to give what is God's to God. And the question is, well, what is God's? The quick answer to that is ourselves. You and I were bought at a price, the most expensive price, a price that is, infinitely more valuable than Bitcoin. It's the blood of Jesus. Jesus' blood is infinitely valuable, and it's so valuable that it was used to purchase you and I and the rest of the world in one death. Consider this. The average American will earn around $2.7 million over their lifetime. And let's say that there's a man who uses his lifetime earnings to purchase a golden retriever from a kill shelter. This dog's days away from being put down. The man sees him and uses it and purchases with everything that he's got. That shows the dog is extremely valuable to the man. He brings him home, takes care of him, feeds him, and in no time at all, the dog is constantly going over to the neighbor's house and spending all the time with the neighbor, and doesn't spend any time with the owner. He spent $2.7 million. I promise you, that's a jealous person. He gave everything, saved the dog's life, and the dog wants to spend time with someone else. Now, obviously this is just an analogy, but as the dog of the story, I can tell you that I can either choose to spend my time, my resources, and my efforts towards the one who paid everything for me, or I can give myself to somebody else. This builds my faith because knowing that God paid such an extravagant price for me personally, what else is he going to withhold? What else is he not going to do for me? As long as I'm walking in the way that he wants me to walk, he's already showed that he's cared for me. He's going to continue to do so. Getting to know God is fun and extremely valuable. When we choose to do things his way, God is sure to bless us. And that's actually what my next video is. Be looking forward to the video coming up where I talk about how to live in God's blessings. Or you're welcome to look at my previous video here. I'm always going to be helping you build your faith, finances, and family on God's foundations, because you and I are going to be tested. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button for those of you who have. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed the B-roll.